Guys, we're here at Underdog Motorsports in Mesa, Arizona. This is one of the few shops that I trust to work on our vehicles. No one else touches our vehicles except for us, and these are one of the few guys that we trust. So today, Tacoma's getting a complete facelift. We have wheels, tires, and a whole suspension kit, as well as upper control arms going in. Brett, one of the owners, does not like to be on camera, but these guys have 35 years experience between them working on Toyotas and other vehicles. So I'm gonna have him talk about these parts a little bit off camera. You're gonna hear his voice, you're not gonna see his face, but he knows more about these items than I do. So we went with upper control arms. And who's the maker of this?
This is Freedom Off-Road. They have an OE style bushing and ball joints in them, as well as greasable ball joint on top here.
This comes off?
Yes.
So this is a sealed greasable ball joint. This part goes back on. And why'd we go with these?
Low maintenance and quiet. They stay quiet, that's why. And then also they added a couple degrees of caster for the alignment.
Freedom Off-Road, upper control arms going in on the Tacoma. And then we went with what shocks system?
So for the front, we went with 6112 Bilsteins with a heavy spring on it to give it a little bit extra lift on it. It's got a 2.5 body as well as a larger shaft on it as well.
Already set on the ring, or no? We got to
So that's going to be the stock ring. There's multiple different positions for heights depending on what the client wants.
And we're going with a 3-inch lift on the front for the front. So the 6112s?
6112.
All right. And then these are the coil springs for the 6112s in the front.
And then in the back, we're going to do the 5160s, which are a remote reservoir 2.0 body. Again, just a good shock overall for ride quality.
And then,
And then we got the Icon add-a-leaf, multi-progressive leaf spring.
and this is going to add a lift to the back, correct?
The lift in the back about 1.5 inches roughly.
All right, so Tacoma today is getting 1.5 inch lift in the back. It's getting a 3-inch lift in the front. We're going with the Bilstein 6112s in the front, the 5160s in the back, and then the Freedom Off-Road upper control arms. And then of course everything will get realigned after. This is the Icon progressive add-a-leaf part going in. So the last part of the puzzle. These are...
They're going to be the KMC 723s in a 17-inch with a 0 offset.
And this won't require any kind of...
No trimming, nothing like that with the 0 offset typically, so.
Beautiful.
Wrapped.
Oh, what kind of tires are we going with on the Tacoma?
Go with the BFG 285 KO2s. Great on and off-road tire. So.
Good, KO2's going on. So we're gonna let these guys get to work, and we'll check back in maybe midway if Shane doesn't yell at us. and then once everything is complete, we're gonna remeasure everything. We took measurements beforehand. We'll take measurements after, and then we'll take a look at the stance of the truck. So we'll let these guys get to work.
Okay.
All right, we have a tire size comparison. This is the original tire off of the 2023 Tacoma. This is a 265/70 16-inch rim. And then we have the 285/70 17. So we went with the 17-inch rim versus the factory 16-inch rim. 285 versus the 265. And you can see the height comparison. Here's a comparison of the side view. And then we'll go ahead and put one in front of the other so you can see a different angle as well. 265 in the front and 285 in the back here. So once we get this Tacoma back on the ground and we have the suspension lift, which is a 3 inches in the front, 1.5 inches in the back, and then 285s on there, we're gonna look at the stance of it. But if you're curious how your Tacoma is gonna look with a lift and a 285 tire, you're gonna see shortly. Fronts are done here. You got the Freedom Off-Road upper control arms in. 6112 Bilsteins all set. Let's move over to the back. Got the add-a-leaf in. And the 5160 Bilsteins with the reservoir mounted.
So it's a progressive spring. Yeah. So notice how, so this is your factory one, right? Up here, factory?
Yes.
So you notice how it all progressively goes down. So that's why it's a progressive spring.
And this was part of the factory?
This is part of the factory.
You left it in?
Yeah, we left it in there to give you a little bit extra height and also overload as well.
Okay.
There's something important to note with that before and after picture of the Tacoma. The bed of the truck actually has about 500 pounds loaded in there with the spare parts. In the description below, I'm going to put the suspension measurements without that added weight. Also, a huge thank you to Underdog Motorsports in Mesa. I will put a link to their website in the description below as well. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for a lot more add-ons to the Tacoma and the 4Runner. We will see you on the next one.